Today I'm making banana bread, and not just regular banana bread, lower calorie option. But what's best about it is that you're not even gonna taste the difference. I feel this is like the best recipe I ever made up. So let's get started. If this is your first time here, my name is Anita and I love food. So I create recipes of your favorite foods and desserts, allowing you to eat whatever you want, whenever you want, simply by counting calories. So whether you would like to see how you can create recipes on a lower calorie budget, or just simply to know how to fit your regular foods into your diet, you're in the right place. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. Don't forget about the bell notification so you don't miss any recipes. So I'm going to start here with 3 very ripe bananas. Very ripe is the key. So they have enough sweetness for me to be able to reduce sugar. And you'd be surprised how much sugar you can reduce. So the regular recipe calls for, I think, a cup of sugar. I'm only gonna add 1/3 of a cup. So it's a huge discount when it comes to sugar, and it's gonna be sweet. You're not even gonna notice. Trust me. And the good thing about this also is that it really doesn't take no time. I put all ingredients right into the bowl with my smashed bananas. I don't sweat it. It really takes a few minutes to put it all together, and the result is amazing. And because we're gonna take out the butter, we're gonna take most of the sugar out of the recipe, you can pretty much eat it every day for breakfast. So it doesn't have to be like perfectly smashed. If you have little chunks here and there, it's perfectly fine. Just like so. I actually had this in the last week, I think 3 times, since I've come up with this idea with removing butter out of the recipe and reducing sugar and noticing that there's no difference. I've been eating it like crazy. So I'm gonna add 2 eggs, just straight to it. Now, a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm gonna eyeball it, and it's all combined. Now, next step, yogurt. And to cut even more calories, I'm gonna use a 0% fat-free yogurt, Greek yogurt, that's important. I don't see any difference between full fat and this one because it really, the sugar and bananas completely neutralize the kind of tart kind of taste. And I'm adding actually 7 ounces of that yogurt. And all the ingredients, and this is gonna be in the description below, so all the measurements for grams and ounces, check it out. So how I'm gonna measure it, like for me, the best way with measuring ingredients, actually weighing them down, it's the best way, especially for baking. So I'm gonna do 7 ounces. This is 3.5. And almost there. Right perfectly, 7 ounces. And now I'm gonna combine this as well. Now next I'm gonna measure out sugar. I'm gonna use 1/3 of a cup of just regular granulated sugar. Put it all together. And now the ingredients, the dry ingredients, we're gonna do separately so we can mix it up. Because I'm gonna add a baking soda, baking powder, and they tend to clump. What happens if you don't mix it with the flours, you might just have a nice bite of baking soda, and I tell you, it's not delicious. So we're gonna separate it and put it in a different bowl, and then put the dry ingredients into wet ingredients. So I figured out that the best consistency for me for this banana bread is 3 ounces of whole wheat flour and 3 ounces of white flour. For some reason, the whole wheat flour adds some more nutty flavor into the recipe. I prefer it better than just white flour. But if you don't like wheat flour at all, you can completely change that and just make sure it's all whole, just all-purpose flour. But I like to do it that way. So I'm gonna go with 3 ounces of white and 3 ounces of wheat. So that's about a little bit over half a cup of each. And I'm gonna do the same with whole wheat flour. So I have here 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and I'll go for a whole teaspoon of cinnamon, and half a teaspoon of salt. Salt always balances the sweetness and adds a lot of flavor. Take my word for it. And in the meantime, I'm preheating the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm gonna bake it for about 50-55 minutes. You have to check your oven and see how your oven bakes. But also, if you want to reduce the time, what you can do is, instead of bread, a loaf of banana bread, basically make cupcakes or muffins. And that way you can bake it for 25 minutes and have even portion sizes. I like that one too. All right, so I'm gonna add the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. And one more thing we're gonna do, we're gonna add walnuts. And they will add 400 calories to this recipe. If you decide that you either cannot have walnuts or don't like to have them, you're gonna save yourself 400 calories for the whole recipe, which is amazing. But for some reason, I like the flavor of walnuts in this, so I'm gonna put them in there. So I'm almost done here. I'm gonna chop some walnuts now. And again, I'm gonna use my amazing scale. I'm gonna add 2 ounces. That's 400 calories. 2 ounces of walnuts will be 400 calories. That's a lot, right? A lot. Yeah. Too bad, I love walnuts. And just roughly chop them. They don't have to be perfectly chopped. You still want to have some kind of pieces, but not huge pieces. When I start, I cannot stop chopping. Okay, I'm done here. So I'm not sure if you can see this, but dough is not completely done yet, and I'm gonna just add the nuts to it. One thing I'm always afraid to do is overmix it. So I'm just trying to combine everything without overmixing it. So I prepared my little baking dish, and I line it up with a parchment paper. And if you don't have it, I recommend strongly that you do buy it. Oh, my oven just done. It's a perfect timing. So I'm using the parchment paper because it's so easy to get the cake out instead of trying to figure out how to get it out. And I love to eat my sweets when they're hot straight from the oven. So that way it's even easier to basically take it out, put it on a side, and start cutting it right away. And about the consistency, what's important is that these like the 3 ounces of this flour, 3 ounces of the other flour, these are the way I like it. If you like it more dense, then add a little bit more flour, and then you're gonna get your perfect consistency. All right, and right to the oven, 350 degrees for 50-55 minutes. And my banana bread is ready after 55 minutes. It smells amazing. You just need to try this one. So here is the big reveal. It's amazing. I have to try. Oh yeah, this is perfect. The first time you're trying it, make sure you use the recipe just like it is, and then adjust the flour later. So if you like it more dense, add more flour, but I don't think you want to do that. It's perfectly moist. I mean, just a perfection. And enough sugar. You're gonna be surprised how little sugar we have here and how sweet it is. And I can tell you, trying the other recipe with a stick of butter and full cup of sugar, this, you're not gonna taste the difference. I'm adding the wheat flour and also adding yogurt. It makes it a little bit more moist, and it's actually better than the original. So make sure you try it. Leave a comment below. Tell me how you like it. Click the like button and don't forget to subscribe.